So you want to unlock Black Cat, but you don't have any nowhere, and you've been waiting for Mr. Hartgrave to drop this video. Well, I've got some good news and mostly some bad news for you, but also some good news. I don't know. I'm going to try to help you out as best I can, but the problem is if you don't have nowhere built, then you're kind of stuck on difficulty 4, and you can put all the scourges on, right? You can put every single scourge on 120 points of scourge, and you can make it till the end, but you're still going to come up a little bit short. You need 550,000 points if you want to just flat out unlock Black Cat right away. You're going to need 450,000 points if you want to unlock Black Cat after getting the ranked rewards. So, can you unlock Black Cat having 0 nowhere, having no Sinister 6, having no nowhere? The answer is kind of no, but you can get very, very close. So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you kind of what I would suggest for new players, for mid-game players. And the good news is that building the characters that I'm going to detail out in this run through of this difficulty 4 run with all of the scourges enabled is going to also be a very good overview of what kind of characters are meta right now. Like, this is really kind of a test for what is available, what is meta, what you should really be building if you're a new player or a mid-game player. Not so much like the strongest things in the game that are unavailable to you, but here's like if you are, because a lot of people always ask me like, what should I be building? And basically the characters that I used on this run is what you should be building, because what I was looking for as I did this run was my power levels are so far. Like, let me get this out of the way before anybody jumps down in my comments and starts harassing me about it. I'm probably going to do that anyways. But as far as the power levels go, yeah, I know, like, I can't get any meaningful information out of this as far as power levels or how easy this would be to do. But these would be the characters that I was just doing it with. Now, you might have access to better characters than this. And if you do, then I would follow this safe to build guide, right? If you have access to all this stuff or any of this, and you can replace any of the characters that I'm using here with that stuff instead, with any of these characters. These are like the most meta characters in the game. So yeah, if you have access to those, then you can sub any of these out that you haven't built with that. And I have got more videos on that. I got a big unlock guide that goes over all this. You probably saw that. We actually just, I'm recording this right after I got the in-game mention. And a lot of you are new subscribers. Thank you for being on this channel. Okay, I've also got a lot of other Scourge videos right here in this playlist. So if you want to know how to, if you want to see my playthrough of just to unlock, to max out the milestones, that I have on a playlist. And then I have some tips there to maximize your score where I really test my roster. And in fact, I'm going to be having a video as well on probably difficulty 9, because it looks like people are actually pushing difficulty 10 on this thing. That'll be in a video that comes out Monday called Addicted to Marvel Strike Force. You're seeing some of the old thumbnails back there. We have a lot of fun with that. But okay, on to this information, and hopefully some of this will be useful to you. This is what I would suggest building. If you're stuck on difficulty 4, these are the characters I would suggest. For the first node, the coolest thing we can do is you can use the Thanos Icarus trick. For new players, for mid-game players, the best character that you have access to is Icarus. He's available in the raid store now. He's like the #1 new player, mid-game player character. He's going to carry you through a lot of this. So Icarus, and you can put Thanos right in front of him on the side. And then when Icarus gets a kill, Thanos will feed energy to him, and you can just do his ultimate over and over and over again as needed. That's a very cool move. I also went ahead and threw in Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Cersei here to complete the pairing of Cersei and Icarus. They're great. So yeah, I would still say for new players to kind of build Rebirth, although that's kind of being phased out. But I don't really know what's going to replace it. I got to talk to them about what they're doing for new players, and we're kind of waiting for a new team to drop in. I'm hoping the new Tech Raid team has some old characters involved in it, and that it's kind of new player friendly. And what I mean by that is it has a couple of characters that you can access, that everybody can access, and then some new characters on top of it, like Rebirth, like Wakanda, like Web Warriors. These are all teams that had like a couple of old characters that were really easily available, and then a bunch of new characters to kind of round out the team and make it meta today. And we don't really have that. The closest we have is Rebirth. So that's why I suggest building into Captain America, Winter Soldier. Okay, that's the first node. That's easy. For the hero nodes, what I'm going to suggest there is Deathpool, Captain America, Cersei, Icarus, and Nick Fury. Once again, we're kind of phasing that out, but if you have this team, some version of this, that's what's going to get you through those hero nodes. Once again, I know my power levels are way out of the park, but that's what I would build. If I had access to new player stuff or mid-game player stuff, I would build these characters to try to get the most scores I could on difficulty 4. If I didn't have nowhere at all, which a lot of new players and mid-game players don't have. That's why you're watching this video. You don't have nowhere. You don't want to build Sinister 6 at all. And I don't know how much mileage you would get out of Sinister 6 anyways. It's not that good. Maybe you can push through a difficulty 5 run. Probably not. Let me know down in the comments. All right, for Mystic, I would lean into Eternals. Once again, I'm trying to use the fewest amount of characters. I'm trying to suggest the fewest amount, the most meta, the most available. So Icarus, Cersei, Cloak, Dagger, and Deathpool. That is going to breeze through Mystic for you. It's a very good team. And then for Controller, Controller is rough. Even at this difficulty level, Controller is really, really narrow, and it sucks. So what would I suggest doing? Cersei, right? Cloak, Loki, Hela, and Doctor Doom. You're not going to be able to get that far in the Black Cat Scourge unless you have Doctor Doom at every level. Doctor Doom is essential for the Black Cat Scourge. I had to take mine to level 95, and that got me through my run. But man, yeah, you're going to need to build him. He's not on my safe to build list, but maybe he needs to kind of sneak his way back on there since he's such a big part of this Black Cat Scourge. We need another controller character, global controller character to come into the game. If they don't, then this is going to be really a problem. Now, of course, if you have Morgan Le Fay unlocked, we'll use Morgan Le Fay on here. But I'm just suggesting this because I know a lot of people, I feel like all my comments are going to be, I don't have this, I don't have that, so what would I need to build? And this is like the most universal suggestions I can give at the lowest level. That's what this video is. If you're still wondering what this video is at this point, I don't know why I'm over explaining this. For Brawler, I would suggest Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is great because she gives an assist to all of the other hero brawlers. Black Cat, Shang-Chi, Deathpool, Psylocke. That team is the team I would suggest building. Shang-Chi and Psylocke, a little older meta. Same with Miss Marvel, a little older on the meta, but you shouldn't have to build it that much to get through difficulty 4. And it's not going to hurt you that much either. They do still have some value for stuff like this, mostly for stuff like this. Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel are very good in Scourges. They're very good tools to have in your toolbox, and they're going to help you out in difficulty 4 for sure. And then the hero team, the second hero node, pretty much the same suggestion. Second Mystic node. Second Mystic node is a problem. The second Mystic node is actually a problem because of the speed issue here. You have to get ahead of that Silver Surfer. So I would suggest using Loki, using Hela, and here you really need Morgan Le Fay. Right here, you're gonna get a full team wipe from that Silver Surfer. And then I don't have him built, but you might want to build him as a new player, as a mid-game player. Quicksilver right here is going to be huge. A big Quicksilver can really help you out on Mission 7 because that Silver Surfer is just really a problem, even at this low level on difficulty 4. I mean, not a problem for me, but I could definitely say I'd be in a problem for new players trying to go through this. Mid-game players, you have to get ahead of that speed. So I would suggest Loki, Hela, Morgan Le Fay, if you got her. If not, you're just going to have to build the biggest Quicksilver you possibly can. I threw Spider Weaver on here, hoping that maybe a lot of players were around when they had that glitch and they gave out all the extra Spider Weaver shards. Also a character that's kind of leaving the meta, but does have a lot of uses in stuff like this, fringe stuff like this, scourges and towers and stuff like that. But yeah, here's one where you probably have to build Quicksilver to make it through there. This is tough, even on difficulty 4, especially to suggest characters. And then once again, another very difficult node. The second controller node is still going to be a big problem for you. That's still a Red Hulk on there. So yeah, Doctor Doom, you're going to have to build the biggest Doctor Doom you possibly can. You want to charge him up so he has his ultimate ready. And you're going to want to bring in Scarlet Witch for the heal. Probably to make it through this, you're going to need that heal. I'm going to suggest Loki, Hela, and Cersei in addition to that. If you have Morgan Le Fay, you really need to bring her into this. But if you don't, this team is probably enough to get you through. The bigger Doctor Doom you have, the better. That's what you're really going to need to do. And then finally, you're on the last Brawler node. And this Brawler team, the Brawler team is probably one of the better teams out there as far as as out of these three, out of Controller and, Mystic's pretty good as well, but they're harder nodes. The Brawler nodes are a little easier. All right. And that leaves us with our final node, which is a hero node. And I'll go ahead and beat it just so you can see what the score is going to be at the end of this. Let's see. For hero, I was suggesting... I know Captain America was my suggestion on this. Yes, Icarus. We'll definitely want to lean into Icarus. Nick Fury. You'll want to get Cersei in there. Once again, my power levels, I understand that it's absurd. They're absurdly high for this. I'm not going to have a problem. That, means that you're probably going to have I'm just going to throw in Red Hulk. It doesn't really matter because my power levels are so extreme anyways. If you have Red Hulk for the hero sections, great, use Red Hulk. That's a huge help. But I can't assume that a lot of people were around for the last year's Scourges and beat them at a high level. I'm kind of thinking more of new players and mid-game players when I'm giving this advice as far as which characters to power up to give this a go. And yeah, you're going to have to crack through this Nova. Now I hear that sending in a sacrifice team on this is a really good idea to draw out the Nova Ultimate and then send in your main team. Definitely good if you don't have the power just to take them out like I just did. Then yeah, you'll definitely want to send in a first team to draw out, and this is on all difficulty levels. You'll want to draw out that ultimate on Nova. This is something I did not do on my run, and I did just fine with just sucking it up with my Nowhere because my Nowhere is very large. They actually were not the problem. The problem was more that controller node 8, mission 8 was really my issue. But if you're not big enough to tank that Nova, then it is best to draw out his ultimate, and then that's going to make life so much easier for you. And yeah, I'm just ripping right through this. It's really not a problem for my level of characters. Difficulty 4 is absurd. I just wanted to show you how many potential points you could get if you are able to build the characters you need to get all the way through difficulty 4 with maximum Scourges. I wanted to get that information out there and try to help you as much as I could. Unfortunately, they've really changed the way Scourges work. And they used to have it so that you had 4 nodes before the featured team, but they've changed it specifically to mess you over. And yeah, I think you saw there, it didn't do the little fancy end graphic. I'm disappointed in that. I wanted the little fancy end graphic. It was about 390 points is what you got from doing that. So if you really want to unlock Black Cat at the lowest difficulty level, you have to do difficulty level 5. And you have to do that with all the packs enabled. That's the weakest you can do. But the problem is that you do need to have nowhere for that. Now, you don't need to have a very strong nowhere. You can take a very weak nowhere in here. I've heard that people with nowheres as low as like 300K can make it through this. So if you have all of the characters unlocked, even if they're very, very small, you can do difficulty 5 with all the packs enabled. It's actually easier. I found that having all the scourges enabled actually makes this easier than having fewer of them enabled. I don't know why, what sense that makes, but that's the case. That's kind of how these work now. They're kind of just designed to put all of them on. Why? I don't know why we've done that. I found it much more interesting when you kind of got to make a blend, but now it's just kind of really stupid. You just put them all on and then you go through and it's actually easier. And there's probably one that's bugged that's like helping you out. Anyways, there's a lot of other great videos on this channel. Speaking of helping you out, I'm here to help you out as well. So make sure you check them out. And grave diggers, keep digging.